What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. If you like reel talk, you're going to like this one because we're talking bait casters and spinning reels that are on sale over at Tackle Warehouse right now. I saw that the sale was up a couple days ago, and I've had a couple people ask questions on some reels that they're going to buy. So, as always, I have people hit me up about gear. I've got a couple reels. I've used a few over the years. You can see all the boxes up there. And I love doing that. I love helping people out. So I figured I'd pick some of my favorites going through the sale page to see, okay, what would I recommend? What would I use it for? So that's what we're going through today. Starting with the $99 Workhorse, the Lose LFS. Now this one is on sale for $59.99 because they've got the new version out now. And I'm going to have kind of a first impressions, tear down, show you, look at all that. I did get to use this for the last few weeks of the season, and it's a nice reel, but I don't think that you should blink an eye at purchasing one of these for 60 bucks. I love it. I've still got a couple of the older versions. Some good upgrades in this. It does have the dually supported pinion gear, so two bearings supporting that. It makes a difference in smoothness. This you hear in the line tick, but still after using this for multiple seasons, still good and smooth. The handles are It's not that they're uncomfortable, but they're not great. They're just kind of But otherwise, fit in hand I think is something that Lose does very well. It's a good short side that you're grabbing here, that you're palming. It's not big, it's not a weird shape, it's kind of this ovally shaped reel, and I think it's comfortable for most people. So if you're looking for an aluminum framed reel, good for, jig, Texas rig, flipping stuff, spinner bait, kind of one that does it all. And if you watch my casting test a couple years ago, has that been? This one actually surprised me on how well it did. So definitely would recommend this one. I think at the top of the heap with the SLX at the $99 category, and you're getting it for 60 bucks. Okay, next up, a newer reel. Now this was a Tackle Warehouse exclusive with Okuma, the X Series. Okuma sent me one of these to try out, and I have been very surprised with it. Best baitcaster I've used that they have out so far. It's really light. I don't remember if this is a magnesium frame or not. I'm guessing so, but I think this comes in at like 5.6 ounces. Good and solid in hand, and it's small. I know a lot of people, I recommend Daiwa a ton. I really like theirs, but some of their frames are just a little bit bigger, and I have, decently sized hands. I can just barely palm a basketball, but for anybody that has smaller hands, they say, what's a good, smaller sized reel? This is it. Very palmable. It's got a very small, grip side plate surface. It's even kind of interesting. They've kind of whittled down some of this that's usually a little bit larger on reels, the top of the reel frame there, which does feel really good in hand. So this one, I used it for jigs. If you watch my jig video, I'll leave that one at the end too. Those are two good videos to watch, the casting test and this one. This thing did awesome. I had some really good quality fish that day. Hook sets were no issue, and kind of cool. You can see they put a line holder on there like the spinning rods have. Can I show you this without, trying to show you this without whacking the ceiling, but it's got that like spinning reels have. No company has ever done that. That's kind of nice to have on there. So yeah, Okuma, I think knocked it out of the park with this. They sent me the combo to try out. It feels very, very good in hand. If you want a lighter reel, small, good, it's kind of a do-it-all. I wouldn't bat an eye looking at this. 30% off coming in at $195. So you're saying, whoa, hold on, it's a little bit expensive. Well, the next one is on sale for a really good price, $149. Now, still not super budget, but this is the Daiwa Coastal TWS, 44% off at $149. I don't own this one, but I was able to use Chris Russ. We go out fishing on the kayaks and stuff now. He's a kayak convert, but he uses it as his frog reel. And the big reason I bring this one up is because, where's my Tatula? Okay, I couldn't find my Tatula 150 to show you, but it's a 100 sized reel with a 150 size spool inside of it. So basically they're taking the Tatula 150, which I love, one of my favorite do-it-all reels, that has a little bit bigger, longer frame to it. When you palm it like this piece is out just a little bit farther. Some people really don't like that. This is the Tatula 100. This is the newer one that came out. It's got the little notch here. So it's going to be a frame size similar to this, but with the larger 150 size spool inside of it. Now, with that Coastal, it does have the aluminum frame and aluminum handle side plate. The 100 does not have that. So a great difference if you're looking to frog, flip, pitch, anything where you're really wrenching on that reel hard. It makes a difference having that aluminum frame and handle side plate. It makes the reel an absolute little tank. So for 150 bucks getting that, other companies, usually you have to go up over $200 to get the aluminum frame and handle side plate. Now, the bright blue color, definitely not my favorite, but when I was using that being able to sling a frog out there with 50-pound braid, you've got the capacity and you can absolutely send that thing. It does have a frame similar to this. It's basically the exact looks of this, the old Tatula 100 that had like the red here. This was the previous version before they updated it and changed it to this, but basically has that frame. So if you've ever held this one in hand, you're like, yeah, that feels pretty darn good. Great size reel, great to just bust out anything that, you know, is going to be a hard hook set. Definitely recommend it, and one that I'm honestly still thinking I might grab one, and it's on clearance because the new version came out that's like black and blue, so it's not as annoying of a color, but still a great reel. Okay, and before we get into the spinning reels, I've got one last Baitcaster. This is another Lew's, the Custom Pro, what do they call it? Custom Speed Spool SLP, and again, fit in hand, Lew's has done absolutely great with that. I think making a great universal size where it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more palmable. And this is a good upgrade over the LFS. The brakes on this are the dual brakes. And I know some people really, really like that. You know, some people argue if you have great brakes, you know, you don't need the dual stuff. Listen, I'm throwing all that out the window and just going on based on how I used it, how did it feel. And this was one of the easiest. After I set the inside, I didn't even mess with those internal brakes. Did everything from out here. It was one of the easiest, just like pick it up and throw stuff, not having to worry about reels that I use. This made one of my best reels, I think a couple years ago. It's a reel that nobody talks about. And it's great. I mean, it's got, you know, a couple decent upgrades. The handles, these EVA handles, which I like better than the little flat ones that are on the Lew's. Does have your line indicator, line indicator spool tension knob there. So just a, you know, a couple things to make it a little bit snazzier. But 33% off coming in at 120s. I think it's a great buy. It's just one of those no frill, you know, black, not annoying color. All right, moving on over to the spinning variety. Number one, have I beat this one into the ground enough? The Daiwa Regal. One of the coolest paint jobs out there. It's this color shift purple green, looks awesome. This is the new version, but the old version is on sale for under 50 bucks. This was one of my most used spinning combos, and it's completely budget. I got this, the new version on sale, I think it was like 15% off. And then the Daiwa Iridex spinning rod, which I got on sale for I think like $35. So all in, you're under $100 on a combo that has been great. I have personally loved it. I've fished 10-pound braid on here, 12, 15, you know, something like that as my do-it-all is my favorite. Going to a leader, this happens to be a 6 or 8 pound leader, fishing that little finesse free rig, but the reel is great. It's got everything you need. It's smooth enough, it's strong enough. You know, I'm not out inshore catching, you know, 20-pound redfish, you know, something like this. You know, for most of the bass fishing I do around here, you know, 5, 6 pounds and less. Who am I kidding? 1-pounders and less. It holds up completely fine. So that old model on sale for 50 bucks. I've got one of the old ones as well that I got at a rest in peace Gander Mountain going out of business sale for like $30, and it held up absolutely awesome. So would not blink an eye at recommending the Daiwa Regal. Now I didn't want this to sound like a Daiwa commercial, but it really is. I love Daiwa spinning reels, and all these are actually going to be Daiwa. The next one is one I don't have anymore. I gave it away on a giveaway. The Daiwa Excel LT coming in at $59. 40% off. It's kind of a mix between these two. So this is the Laguna, super budget option. It's been a great reel, held up very well for me. The only thing, the handle's a little clicky sounding, but I think this is like $30, $40 reel. For what it is and for what it does, great. Never had any issues with it. And again, I'm not catching gigantic fish, you know, just your regular fishing around here. Now going up just a little bit, the Daiwa Fuego. It's got the air rotor, air bail, all that stuff. And this is the old version. I don't have the new one yet. But the same for the Acceler. It's got the air rotor, the air bail, the digi gear. It's that carbon light, the LT concept, whatever. So it's not too heavy in hand. Has held up to, you know, everything I needed it to. So very similar again to the Fuego. Would have no problem recommending that to folks, especially at 59 bucks. Okay, and the last spinning reel is this, the Daiwa Proon AL LT. It's an aluminum body reel. So for those times you are, you know, chasing bigger fish or, you know, salt type stuff or inshore or whatever, somewhere you need something a little bit heavier, beefier, this has that aluminum frame to it. It's not going to bend. It's not going to give like my rod tip did on the ceiling there. Still comfortable, not overly heavy. I think the 2500 size is 8.3 ounces. This is the 3000 size. So it does have the power handle. The smaller sizes don't have that, but great reel. Again, if you're anything where you're fishing a jig or a shaky head, you know, something where you're getting down there and you're really swinging into those fish more. Some people really say, I want the aluminum frame, and this does have the screw in screw that in there and tighten it. It does have the screw-in direct connect handle, so it's not one where you have to tighten this. This screws directly into your gear. Everything you want in a good beefy spinning reel coming in at $109, so 45% discount on that. They have a new version of this out now. I think it's like silver and blue. So this is the one version before it, but again, the same air bill, air drive, DigiGear, all that in this one. Great little reel. So if something for just a little bit sturdier fishing, that's the go-to for just over $100. Now, as always, I will link all these below as well. If you use any of my links, portion of that does come back to me to help so I can do the reviews, do the giveaways, all this stuff. I appreciate it. And if you find it somewhere else for cheaper, I still love you, but I appreciate anybody that uses those links. All right, fishing friends, so those are my picks. Comment below and let me know. Have you checked out any? What are you thinking about? What do you like? If there's something else, comment down below. Somebody else might be interested, but those are kind of my big picks. I think those are some really good deals, even though they are some of the older versions. Still perfectly great reels. You know, some of them might have slight upgrades, slight cosmetic changes and stuff, but I have full faith recommending those, all ones that I've used and really liked. So comment below. Otherwise, today's subscribe fishing friend is from Mr. Johnny Nelson. He just recently watched the ice fishing video. Appreciate everybody that watches those. I know it's not as big of an audience that enjoys the ice stuff. Half of you can't ice fish because you're down south, but gonna have more of those. Listen, it's what I got right now. We have ice. I have fun, so definitely gonna have a lot more gear reviews, rod and reel. I've got some unboxing and kind of some how-to videos going back to some of the up close showing how to rig stuff. Some more of those planned as well. And next week should be dropping the best and worst gear video, best and worst lure video of things that I used of 24. So the rods and reels that I like the most, different video for the lures that I like the most, and probably the best and worst moments, so kind of the fails. So 3 of those coming up before New Year's. Can't believe 2024 is almost over. So listen, appreciate y'all watching. Love you. Thanks. And until next time.